Number 10. Final Fantasy Origins. Officially the last JRPG on the PS1 released in North America. It's a compilation of the first two Final Fantasy games completely remade. In fact, this was the first time we got to play the true Final Fantasy II. These new versions had huge improvements in their overall gameplay, so I'd say they might be the best ones to play out there. Number 9. Onimusha Tactics. This is a game that went under a lot of people's radars. Well, nobody was expecting a tactics game out of the Onimusha series, and certainly not for the Game Boy Advance. It's a spin-off, still within the Onimusha lore and universe, but unrelated to the main games. A decent, grid-based tactical RPG that's balanced, engaging, and quite amicable for beginners into the genre. Number 8. Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga. First game in this defunct series, a rough but fun start on the Game Boy Advance. It's a rather unique experience living up to its silly reputation that shines thanks to its battle system. You will play the entire adventure with two brothers in a turn-based RPG, side by side, with its usual dynamics. Sad to say the development team declared bankruptcy recently, but at least they left us with some really cool titles out there. Number 7. Golden Sun: The Lost Age. Moving on to yet another GBA RPG, this time the long-awaited sequel to Golden Sun. Actually, these two were going to be one and the same, but the developers ended up separating them. It's a cool game because now you get to play the adventure from the antagonist's point of view. Hell, I even found it better than its predecessor. However, it all adds up near the end with an interesting closure for both titles. Number 6. Disgaea: Hour of Darkness. The start of yet another iconic series, mainly known for its silly humor and cynical shenanigans. It's a joke of a story, revolving around demons, preemies, and overlords. A brutally hard strategy RPG, perhaps the hardest of the series, infamous for being a big, fat grind fest. Disgaea was so successful, it spawned several sequels including a bunch of ports and remasters. Definitely one of the best JRPGs of 2003. Number 5. Skies of Arcadia: Legends. This is an enhanced port of the original on the Dreamcast with improved modeling and a better frame rate. New side quests, rebalanced difficulty, reduced encounter rate. Legends might just be the definitive version of this game, and actually the one most people played, which is why I decided to include it in this series of videos once again. Number 4. Arc the Lad: Twilight of the Spirits. Following the small success of Arc the Lad collection, the fourth title in the franchise was localized. Another strategy RPG, not grid-based though, limiting the player in free-roaming areas for a more tactical position. Story divided into two main characters, switching from one to another and back for every chapter. It has its cliches and all, but the main plot is so very well written. This is a great game, highly underrated and the best in this overlooked series. Number 3. The Dothack Tetralogy. Dothack was also the start of a franchise with gamers playing the role of a player gaming inside a fictional MMORPG. It spawned 3 more direct sequels, identical in terms of gameplay and story, which means this tetralogy is just one big RPG cut into 4 parts. The first 3 were released in 2003 in North America, but the 4th one, Quarantine, got delayed until 2004. But since the majority of the game was localized in 2003, I decided to include all of them here. It's a long and fantastic adventure, with a clunky battle system but one you get used to rather quickly. This gigantic RPG as a whole is one of the best out there of this year. Number 2. Xenosaga Episode 1. Another episodic game that turned out to be very different with each entry. The first episode, however, was released in 2002, but we got it until 2003. This excellent science fiction game marked the beginning of a memorable trilogy of turn-based RPGs, a spiritual successor to Xenogears, known for its heavy and deep focus in its story, its long cutscenes, and its unique cast of characters. Let's not forget about its 2 combat modes, one with the characters themselves and the other with the mechs they pilot. Xenosaga Episode 1 makes the 2003 equation just perfect. Number 1. Fire Emblem: The Blazing Blade. Also known as the Blazing Sword, its subtitle was removed from a rather dumb reason. Since it was the very first Fire Emblem released outside of Japan, they simply took it off. Even though it's the 7th title in the series and a prequel to a game we never got. Anyway, this masterpiece is without a doubt one of the best in the franchise, the best RPG on the Game Boy Advance, and much graciously, the king of 2003. I'm glad we finally reached this year, as I was anxiously awaiting to crown this beautiful game. Looks like it was also a year for many beginnings in important RPG series. From now on, we'll see if their sequels did their job to carry on their legacy. See you then in 2004.